Welcome to today's video, guys. We are in a car yard here in Japan. It's called GTNet. This is the Yokohama location, and I love doing these videos from time to time. Normally I try to do one every 3 to 4 months, and that's so that you guys get an idea of what the prices are here at car yards and dealerships and whatnot. And that gives you guys a really good idea of what to expect if you're exporting a car out of Japan and what you guys should be paying. Because if this is the price that they're selling for here, you know, at car yards and whatnot with their markup, then that's roughly what you should be paying wherever you live in the world as well when you export a car. So anyways, that aside, let's start looking at what they've got here. They've got some pretty interesting cars up at that end, cars that are worth a lot of money, especially some GTRs and stuff. They've also got some pretty unique stuff here as well that I've already had a bit of a look at. So I think what we'll do is we'll start out the front here and work our way in, and we'll go through and look at all the things in front of the windscreens that give you an idea on price, how many kilometers the car has done and stuff. So we can use this one as an example. This one they're looking for about 16 grand USD. I'm going to keep the currency at USD because that's the easiest, because it's almost 1-to-1 with Japanese yen right now. So they want about 16 grand for this 8.6. It's done 71,000 kilometers. It's in pretty decent condition with some nice kind of carbon fiber eccentrics around there and whatnot. But yeah, so let's go through everything they have here, start up the front here in the corner and work our way through. I want to take a quick moment to tell you about today's video sponsor, which is Dafsky. And if you don't know what Dafsky is, let me show you. This is Dafsky. They're an online store and they solely focus on selling only the sickest air fresheners. Not only do they smell great, they last long, and they have so many really cool designs. I think what's really epic though is that they focus heavily on the Japanese JDM car community. So you can see here they've got a bunch of different Japanese ones there, but right now they have a ton of limited edition air fresheners available that obviously they're limited, so they're only going to be available on their site for a limited time. I know I'm saying limited a lot, but definitely go check them out. You get a Pokemon ball, the little cat, the mushroom, the taco, melon-chan, and a couple other bobble ones, a little Shiba dog, Japanese flag, US flag, as well as you can't go wrong with their original Ice Pop series as well. So guys, definitely head to dafsky.com and get yourself a bunch of air fresheners so the next time you jump your car, it's gonna smell fresh. As well, guys, make sure you support the companies that support me, and thank you Dafsky for sponsoring this video. So starting all the way in the back corner here, they have a Spider MR2, and that's selling for what I can see from down here on that label. Looks like 8,800, so it's under 10 grand, it's pretty cheap. Nice little Spider, something I probably can't fit in. And then we got a couple S2000s here. This one's selling for roughly, is that right? Roughly 2,200. The thing's only done 65,000 kilometers. This one over here is under negotiation, so they've got that covered. And then if we have a look up behind there, we've got this really nice FD, which seems to be under negotiation as well. We've got one of these Nismo edition Marches. These things are cool. He's got ask on there, so they have no asking price, which normally means it's a lot of money. So 60,000 kilometers on that. This thing's clean too. I'm a huge fan of these. Very cool cars. I just wish Nissan like stopped making these things hybrid and electric cars now. They've really changed like their direction with like small sports cars. We've got a 350Z. No information, looks like it's under negotiation right now. It's a manual. Verosa. I think we've seen this one here. I don't think this thing's moved in a while. This thing's been here for quite a while. R34 GTR wheels. And it's selling fairly cheap. Automatic though, so actually that's a bit expensive, but that's about 11 grand USD. How many Ks does it have on it? 73,000, pretty low. If you guys don't know much about these, they essentially are like a JZX 110. They got a full 1J in there. Good little drift cars. Before we start going too deep into this area, let's go across the front here. We've got some 8.6s. This one's about 20 grand. It's done 39,000 Ks. This one's about 20 grand as well. That's done 57,000 Ks. Moving up here, we've got a really clean looking FD. Wow. It's definitely been resprayed by the looks of things, by the paint. It's about 30 grand. It's done 93,000 kilometers. Seems to be in relatively good condition. It has the red Recaro seats. Trying to see, it has red stitching. Maybe this is a Spirit R. Yeah, interesting. Hard for me to tell because I don't really know like all the telltales. It doesn't have the badges or anything. It's on RPF 1s. It could be a Spirit R because the stitching on all the leather inside, like around the shift boot and the handbrake, is red, and I know that that was part of the Spirit R. But it's got an aftermarket wheel, so that's another way that I could tell. It's possibly one. 30 grand seems too cheap though for a Spirit R. I guess if it's been resprayed, that kind of devalues it though. All right, hang on. We can't miss this thing. This thing's selling for about $26,000 US. Nice Hachiroku, 8.6, 11 front, carbon fiber hood. Car looks to be in pretty like amazing condition, no major rust. It's done 54,000 kilometers. All right, that explains its price. It's got some really nice red Recaros, nice. This is in pretty decent condition, I'm not gonna lie, this is really nice. It's crazy how much these have gone up in value, but if that's genuine kilometers, only 56,000, this thing's worth everything of that 26 grand, especially to like a collector. They've got a tower over the dash there. I wonder if they're just trying to protect it from the sun so it doesn't crack anymore. But the interior like of the dash that's in there looks really good. Nice fresh Nardi wheel on there too. And then over here we got a 32 GTR with some old logo Nismo stuff on the front bumper. This is selling for about 55 grand USD. It's done 102,000 kilometers. Interesting. Yo, this is like one of the first 32 GTR seats I've seen without tears in them. The seats actually look immaculate. I don't think I've ever seen 32 GTR seats that clean. The rear's got the normal sun fade here on the top of the seats. Active speaker kit. Very nice. This is a clean 32. A good way to know that this car hasn't been driven a lot is just by, you can see a lot of dry rot in the tires here. That means it's been sitting for a very long time. Obviously you can also look at the rotors. But that's generally a good indication that it hasn't really been abused too much. Now of course they can just switch and swap wheels and stuff on there, but judging by how this car looks, it looks like it did a lot of sitting more than driving. Still stock exhaust as well. This would probably be a really good car for an enthusiast to buy. It looks very unmolested. Like all the OEM stuff is in there. The dash and everything looks amazing. It's got the normal bubble there. I would say this sat outside, not indoors. But relatively, everything else looks really good. No cracks, no damage to anything there. That bubble's easy to fix. You get a syringe with the interior glue stuff, and then you can just fill it up with the glue, heat it back up, push it in, and it never pops out again. Yeah, that's probably a really nice 32 GTR. Then we got this really nice red S2K. A lot of people have been getting into the S2000 platform recently. Especially, oh, they got an asking price on that. This thing's low Ks though, 49,000 Ks. Shame, I don't know the price of this, but these are going up and up and up in price for some reason. I don't know too much about S2000s, I probably should learn more. Let's kind of go across this front row here. We've got an FD here. This one's selling for about 32 grand from what I can see in the front label. It's got 45,000 Ks on it. So, interesting. Now, yeah, see, this doesn't have any of the red stitching, so I'm pretty certain that that was a Spirit R. Anyways, super clean. I'm liking the tri-spokes, period correct for the car. Nice. This is a really good one too. This is the kind of FD I'd like to buy, like really clean, doesn't look molested, all OEM aero. Very nice. Behind it, we've got the yellow. I don't know what the official color is this, but it just reminds me of the Sunburst Miatas, well, sorry, Roadsters that they had here in Japan. But I do know, like, isn't this color rare? No price or anything information in the windshield there. Moving back to look at this FD. This one, the paint looks pretty rough. A lot of scratches, a lot of like damage there on the lights, cracks. This one's selling for $2,000, 98,000 kilometers. So I'd probably buy something like this, a little bit cheaper, needs a lot of love with the paint, probably needs a respray, but a lot of potential. Don't get excited, guys. I'm not buying an FD anytime soon. Yeah, all in all, it's not too bad. As long as this has no like crazy accident history, this would be a good buy for someone who's like into fixing these up and doing some cool builds. Mazda speed, performance accessories. That's kind of cool. Haven't seen that badge before. Very cool. Interior is pretty clean. It's got some Recaro aftermarket seats in there. Not too bad overall. Yeah. We've got a 35 GTR here. It's got an asking price on there. We got a V-Spec 34 GTR on some Yokohama Advan GT wheels. Whew. This thing's clean. The seats are immaculate. No tearing on the driver's side, which is rare as well these days. Very nice. Looks to be in pretty decent condition. Shame, it looks like it's under negotiation right now, so bit of a bummer that I don't know K's or anything like that or the asking price. But yeah, look, I don't know if you can see this, but that seat is in really good condition. I don't think this thing has many K's on it if that's in that great condition. Jealous, man. It's got the carbon fiber diffuser there too. We've got an STI WRX on this side. I remember there was an R series one over here, the rally version with the flap in the top. That was one of the first videos we ever did here. This thing's really nice. I'm not gonna lie, the classic blue gold wheels SDI really does things to me. It doesn't really matter what series it is. I know this doesn't have the gold wheels, but you know what I mean. No price on that. It's just got ask. See, I think right now you got to realize this has done 124,000 Ks. Right now, a lot of guys and car yards, I think, are going to be reluctant to sell anything just because of COVID and the whole pandemic and stuff. People are wanting things either cheaper or people just aren't buying stuff, and yeah. So what do we got here? We got a 370Z. This thing's done 54,000 kilometers, so pretty low. It's about 16 grand. That's pretty fair for a manual. No, that's an auto. Ooh, that's right. I forgot how much 370s and 350Zs sell for over here. They're so overpriced in Japan. This thing's cool. What is this? It looks like it's a Toyota. Huh. This is like a Vitz or something? No, this is like some entirely new... I've never seen this chassis before. It looks like a cross between a Corolla and a Vitz. Oh, it is a Corolla Sport. I rarely see Corollas these days, hey. Prius, we don't need to look at that. They want 21 grand for this guy. It's brand new. It's only done 100 kilometers. I have never actually seen this front end on a Corolla yet. It's the first time seeing one like that. Jeez. All right. Now this is where stuff kind of gets exciting. It's an old school Sora. Very cool. These cars are kind of like really hard to find now, especially in really good condition. Now this one will have the 1JZ twin turbo. This thing's really clean, but get a load of this price. It's done nearly 200,000 kilometers, so it's sitting at 188,000 kilometers. Ooh, it's been swapped to a 2JZ. So this is a 2J sitting under there, and they want about 25 grand for it. That's how much these are going up in price. Man, I remember when you could get these. I mean, who cares about the 2JZ swap? The 1J twin turbo would be in this, and you could pick them up for like 3 grand. Like, people couldn't give them away. It's crazy how much pricing has changed in the last few years. Got a nice, what is this, an Evo 10 or just a Rally Art? They want 18 grand for this. It's done 61,000 kilometers. That's just a GSR. It's cool. We got one of these Celica's. This is what ruined the Celica range, like, for me, because they took away the all-wheel drive GT4 edition and they went to these front-wheel drive things and just killed it for me. I used to be a big fan of the old Celica, the GT4s, especially the ST185s. 67,000 Ks, they won 12 grand for it. Got another STI here, and this one's under negotiation, so no pricing. Ooh, how did we miss out on the GC8? So STI, it's done 235,000 kilometers, so it's pretty up there. It's pretty up there. Oh, it's an R edition, RWRX STI. Ask for a price, ask for the price. So yeah, see, a lot of these cars, like I said, they're not going to probably have the pricing up just because the whole situation right now, no one's really moving much, especially in the auctions. The auctions is a mess right now. All these cars are in auctions and no one's really winning anything because they just have really high reserves set. But this thing's pretty nice. It's got the Oz Racing wheels, nice gold. It's got the original STI seat in the passenger, but a Recaro bucket seat for the driver. Relatively clean for a GC8. What do we got up here? Another 370Z. Next to this 350. This one's about 16 grand. It's an auto as well, 53,000 kilometers. What's this 350 at? They want about 14 grand for this one. And it's a manual. That's not too bad. What year is it? Oh, they go by Hesse 20. Oh, I need to look that up. It's on 63,000 Ks. That's pretty good. And now we're kind of back where we started. There's an STI here. I guess we'll look at this. They want about 16 grand for this one. It's done 82,000 kilometers. Not my favorite one, I have to admit. Definitely more about the GC8s. The newer ones just kind of didn't do much for me. Then we're back at the Verossa. And then this STI, I want 18 grand for that. It's done 76,000 kilometers. This one they want 29 grand. STI hatch, done 10,000 kilometers, far out. That's practically new. So yeah, well, I think we covered everything. Normally they have a fair few more cars here, but like I said, going back to the whole pandemic and whatnot, I think things have kind of really slowed down in the car market. Saving the best till last with this nice lineup of GTRs here. And we actually had an interesting, kind of like a random Florida thunderstorm just an hour ago before I got here. And you see how everything's already dried again, so it's like crazy hot. But you can see they haven't really had time to clean any of the rain marks off the car. But that aside, nice beautiful 32 GTR. This one, they have a price here, 32 grand roughly. It's done only 85,000 kilometers. Hesse 8. Ew, it's got, what are these wheels? These old, they're not LMGT wheels, I don't think. Huh. Actually, no, I think they are. It's just I haven't seen them in that color before. Interesting. But if we take away the rain marks on it and the dust, it looks to be fairly clean. Not too bad. The interior, let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, it's really hard to see with all that rain. Oh, this has got that Sony factory option for the CD stacker in the back, so it like fills in the cup holder space there. Hard to see, but it's kind of right there. The interior looks pretty good. The dash has no bubbling in it, no cracks. The seats, no damage or anything to them. I know it's probably hard to see with all that dust on there. Relatively pretty clean GTR. It's insane how much they've gone up in price though. When I first moved here to Japan, you could probably buy this for $3,000 US. I'm not even joking. We got a 34, looks like a GTR with an aftermarket front bar. I'm not sure what aftermarket front bar that is. It's kind of interesting. It's done 140,000 kilometers. No price listed on it though, of course. Says ask. This one's been relatively modified a lot. I would probably, if I was looking for a GTR, I'd probably skip and pass on this one. There's a lot of things about it that are just red flags. but it is in fairly good condition. The seat is damaged. Interior wise, looks pretty good. Dash looks in good condition. I'd have to replace that front bar for sure, and that rear bar and those skirts. I do not like that at all. I'd go back to OEM for sure on that. Anyways, moving on, we've got a 33 GTR here. I cannot believe how much these have gone up in price in like just the last 6 months. This one, they're fetching roughly 50 grand, 49,080. So yeah, practically 50 grand. And it's done 54,000 kilometers. Where pricing's at now, that's about right. All these cars here need a wash. I don't blame them though. It's been raining so randomly recently. And I doubt anyone's coming and looking at the yard for cars. I'm probably the first person here in a while. No one just wants to buy any cars right now. Overall, it looks pretty straight. Probably a good deal. A lot of wheel gap. Looks like OEM suspension with those wheels on there. They almost look like TEs, but yeah, they are. Got this nice black 33 GTR on TEs as well. Interesting. That one's like a darker bronze. I think maybe they're just dirty. They want $48,000 for this one. It's done 88,000 kilometers. So what are we looking here? This one's roughly 50 grand and it's done 54. So yeah, that ticks out. A little bit more Ks. The seats in this have been redone and look amazing. The interior on this one is miles better than the one that's in there. Yeah, relatively really nice. So $48,000 roughly, maybe like closer to 49 after tax and stuff, but 88,000 kilometers, that's pretty decent. Hesse 10 too, so not bad. And then they got a 35 GTR here on Advan GT wheels. Such a good wheel. And now we've covered every single car in this yard except this thing. But what is this thing? What do they want for this thing? Oh wow, they can't give this away. This thing's stupid cheap. That's like 1,800 bucks. Jeez, they literally can't give that away. I love that they've got their own vending machine here. I'm sweating up a storm, so I'm gonna get myself a Mitsuya cider. It's pretty much like 7-Up, if I was to describe it anything like an American drink. This is the closest you guys are getting to ASMR coffee time today, all right, guys? Get excited. Ooh yeah, the taste of summer. So I think that's where we're gonna leave today's video, and I'm genuinely curious. Tell me in the comment section if you find these videos helpful, especially if you're on the hunt for a car and wanna know like general pricing here in Japan. Also, tell me, what was your favorite car that you saw here today? What would you love to pick up and drive on the streets where you live? But with that, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Smash that like button, write us a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna enjoy my Mitsuya cider, which is slipping out of my hands because it's very wet. Anyways, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. Ja mata.